Hey guys, it's Chris. From fish with giant sharp teeth to big snakes lurking in the water, join me as I show you 10 of the deadliest river monsters of the Amazon. Number 10. Electric Eel. Despite its name, the electric eel actually isn't an eel. Rather, it's a type of knifefish. What's more, it's so unique that it's actually the only species member of its genus. However, while one part of its name is deceiving, the other half is very accurate. Because the electric eel has not one, but 3 different organs in its body that can produce an electric charge. When it releases said charge, it can either stun or kill its prey. In fact, it's stated that it actually has enough electric charge to kill an adult human instantly in certain cases. This is because it can discharge with 500 volts of electricity, though it should be stated that other cases just have it to where the human is stunned so much that they drown in the body of water the electric eel just so happens to be in at the time. Fortunately for travelers, the electric eel only resides in the Amazon River and the Orinoco River in South America, but it's also stated to be one of the deadliest creatures that live in that area because of its electric power. Because its body is long and fluid, you likely won't even notice that the electric eel is near you before it's potentially too late. Which is why they're very effective hunters of prey they like to eat. This does not include humans though, and most strikes from them are accidental. Number 9. Bull shark. You might not think of the bull shark as something you'd see in the Amazon River or its tributaries, as you would expect sharks like this to live in the ocean and only that. However, certain sharks like the bull shark are able to live in both saltwater and freshwater, which includes the Amazon, and attacks have been recorded of bull shark in South America as far down as Peru. Bull sharks are documented with 100 unprovoked attacks on humans, and have a 27% fatality rate at last count, which is higher than the great white shark, which is, for the record, most associated with human attacks. Furthermore, scientists have noted that these numbers aren't fully accurate because it's actually quite hard to distinguish the bull shark from other types of sharks due to its coloring and size. So there could be even more attacks that it's done, which means the attacks along the Amazon might be more numerous than you would suspect. But most dangerous of all is that they're very unpredictable in their nature. They tolerate not even the slightest provocation, which has led to its attack numbers. Given all of that, it's understandable why people fear the bull shark more than the great white. Number 8. Giant Otters. Believe it or not, there are giant otters out there in the world. And this certain species can be up to 6 feet in length at times. While that would make them strong and powerful enough to survive where they live, South America for the most part, it also makes them a target. Mainly people hunt them down and try to get their pelts, which can be very valuable in certain markets. Thankfully, this kind of poaching has been banned, and so they aren't suffering as much, but there are those who still go after them. The problem is that they live in rivers like the Amazon, and many of their habitats have been ruined because of building projects, overfishing, pollution, and more. But what might be the most disturbing thing is that the giant otters are known to get into the water areas of humans, and humans aren't amused by them, and so they'll kill them in the name of making their homes safe or getting rid of pests. But these giant otters also have another name associated with them: river wolves. You see, giant otters may be easy targets for humans, but when they band together, they can take on some of the deadliest creatures that reside within the Amazon and its waters. For example, there have been reports of them taking on and eating anacondas, as well as going after black caimans and winning. And then they spent 45 minutes eating said black caiman. Clearly, these giant otters are more than others give them credit for. And now for number 7, but first be sure to subscribe and let me know your favorite animal of the Amazon in the comments down below. Number 7. Pacu Fish. Piranha are one of the most dangerous fish in the world. Some would even go and say they're one of the most dangerous animals in the world. But their cousins, for lack of a better term, are one of the strangest animals in the world because of their taste. They're called Pacu Fish, and they'll give people nightmares for different reasons, especially males. First off, these fish are huge and are much bigger than regular piranha. Their length can be up to 3.5 feet at times, and they can weigh up to 88 pounds at points. Second, unlike their piranha brethren, these fish float more to the side of vegetarians. They technically are omnivores. Yep, they only eat plants and seeds and nuts that fall from trees for the most part, which brings us to the most unique aspect of the Pacu fish. If you were to find one of these Pacu fish and look at their teeth, you'd be very confused because they kind of look like human teeth. Yeah, while piranha have sharp and angled teeth to work their way through meat and muscles, the Pacu fish have more human-like teeth. Why? Well, it's because they eat hard objects like nuts and seeds. Thus, they use their teeth to break them down and get to the sustenance within. It's an interesting evolution, albeit one that has many people very confused as it looks too much like human teeth. Speaking of humans, there was a story going around for a while that stated that there were men attacked by Pacu fish, and that these fish bit off their man regions. You know, specific parts of them, you get my drift. This actually caused a panic because people near the Amazon River do go and swim in it. And Pacu fish reside in the river, and no man wants to lose that particular part of himself to a fish. Well, really at all. Thankfully for them, this story was eventually proven to be a hoax. Not that it couldn't happen per se, but it's unlikely to an extreme degree. However, given the power of these fish, men and women are warned about being too close to Pacu fish, because should they bite you, they would cause a lot of damage to their bodies. Number 6. CANDIRU. The fish known as the CANDIRU has a rather interesting legend associated with it. Mainly, there's a case of a man having to have surgery because he got one of these fish inside him. So how did that happen? Well, the story goes that the CANDIRU was so small that when a man went to urinate in the Amazon River, it went up his urethra, and basically became a parasite inside of him. Is that possible? Yeah. There are cases of CANDIRU being up to 7 to 16 inches in length. However, many more are documented as being much smaller, and possibly being small enough to insert itself into a human. And the case of the surgery is documented and it's real. But that doesn't mean it was fully accurate in terms of how the CANDIRU got into his body. What's more, the story is very much up for debate in the medical community as a whole. However, it should be noted that the CANDIRU is indeed a parasitic creature, as it'll use its spines to attach itself to fish via their gills and then drink their blood. Number 5. ARAP AIMA. Documented and photographed as being 9 feet and 200 pounds at times, the ARAP AIMA is one of the biggest fish you will find in the Amazon River. What might make them even more interesting, though, is that they're known for being armored fish, which is important given that there are things like snakes, black caimans, and piranha in the water that are known for strength and bite power. But the ARAP AIMA has no fear of them and has its own predatory abilities that make it very fierce in the water. However, the ARAP AIMA does have an oddity that must be noted. Mainly, unlike most fish, they need surface air in order to survive. As such, they live very close to the surface while in the Amazon River and surrounding lakes, as they need to literally come up for air, even making a coughing sound when they breathe it in. But don't let that fool you into thinking they can't hunt or take care of themselves. Their armor protects them, but they have large teeth, including having teeth on their own tongue. Number 4. Pajara. Also known as the vampire fish, the pajara is a species of fish that lives in the Amazon River basin and is known for various things, not the least of which is that their teeth on their lower jaw are quite massive. And more than that, they're known for being really vicious predators in the water. In regard to their size, they can reach up to 4 feet in length and be about 40 pounds, which is an important thing to note because one of the biggest distinctions of the pajara is that they're able to eat and hunt fish up to half their own body size. And why would that matter? Most species go after species much smaller than them to ensure they can get the kill, whereas the pajara has no fear of them getting away via their fast speed and massive fangs of teeth. In fact, one of the creatures they're known to go after is piranha. And given that they're known to hunt in swarms, it should give you a good idea as to how vicious these fish are. As for why they have the name vampire fish in some circles, that would be because their lower jaw has 2 fangs that come upwards and can grow up to 6 inches in length. They'll lunge at a fish it considers prey and literally impale them with the teeth. Number 3. Green anaconda. When it comes to snakes in the world today that are the biggest, regardless of whether they're in the Amazon rainforest or not, there are none found so far that can match the size of the green anaconda. The average size of the snake can vary, but at times it'll be between 18 and 20 feet. But at its max, this anaconda can be up to 27 feet long, and weight-wise, they can have around 550 pounds on them. So they have size and girth, which makes for a very deadly combination when talking about stalking prey. Now, there are some misconceptions about the green anaconda. Many feel they're poisonous, but they're not. They have no venom in them at all. What's more, they live in rivers and swamps in South America, including the Amazon. Thus, if you're careful, you'll never have to see one. Furthermore, they aren't known to eat humans at all. As for the animals they do like to eat, you'll find them dining on deer, tapir, caiman, crocodiles, fishes, and turtles. What's intimidating about them, though, is that green anacondas are ambush predators. They wait for the prey to come to them and then strike, usually by wrapping their bodies around their prey and squeezing them to death. They like to be in the shallower waters of the Amazon River and other bodies of water. This allows them to sneak up on prey easier as they'll blend into the water without much effort. Number 2. Black Caiman. The black caiman is a particular breed of crocodile that's one of the biggest alive, measuring in at 20 feet at times. It's also one of the largest predators in the entire Amazon rainforest area. In fact, many label it as the apex predator of the area, and one that isn't really picky about the things it'll eat. It'll go after fish, after birds, mammals, and yes, even go after humans if the situation is right. Like many crocodiles and alligators, the black caiman is a species that prides itself on being an ambush predator, or a first strike predator. It'll wade in the waters of the Amazon River and its tributaries, and then slowly sneak up on the animal it wants to eat and then lash out. And because the creature is willing to hunt at night, it makes it even harder to see in the water, especially since its skin tone has a natural camouflage that enables it to blend in for close encounters. Many think the black caiman is the #1 threat to humans in the Amazon. Number 1. Piranha. In the Amazon, there are many layers to its reach, including the mighty Amazon River, and it is the infamous fish known as the piranha. This is the fish that is characterized by its razor-sharp teeth that can bite through nearly any living thing. They usually swim in swarms, and so when they eat, they'll come together to literally pick the bones clean regardless of what has fallen into the water, thus making them one of the most aggressive and merciless things in the waters on Earth. Another reason that people fear this fish is their size, with them getting up to 2 feet in length at times. So when you compile that size in regards to their swarms, you can further see why they're a force to be reckoned with. However, despite certain legends and stories, piranhas don't openly attack humans. They'll bite them, sure, but they don't usually eat humans for a very simple reason. When they fall into the water, they aren't hurt. Piranha prefer prey that is weak in various ways. That way they can't resist the swarm descending on them and killing them. It should also be noted that there isn't a single species of piranha. There are actually several within the regions of South America where they live. This is important because not all the piranha species are full-on meat eaters. Some are herbivores, some are omnivores, and yes, some are meat eaters purely like the red-bellied piranha, which are the most dangerous of them all. Regardless of that though, piranhas are very well organized. They signal to each other when prey is weak, and they'll even share the food with others so everyone gets a bite. With all these factors, it's no wonder that the myths and legends of piranha and their feeding frenzies have grown to mythical proportions, and the fear of them has become legendary. And even if they don't eat humans, that doesn't mean it's not one of the deadliest creatures in the Amazon, because virtually everything else is on the menu. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these incredible monsters that reside within the Amazon River? Which one of these do you personally not want to mess with at all? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to World List, and I'll see you next time.